Yes guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. We're back for another video and it's a real interesting one because today we are talking about the man, Macca, the skipper, Cardiff City legend, the one you remember pulling the strings in midfield, leading us to Wembley, captained us through some of our big moments in the Dave Jones era and beyond. But now he might just be a key figure to fixing the mess that is Cardiff City. Yes, we are talking Stephen McPhail, but this isn't just about a nostalgia trip, a trip down memory lane. This is about leadership, vision, mentality, and why Cardiff City would be absolutely mad to not bring him back into the fold. Let's get into it. The calm in the chaos. Let's start at the beginning. Leeds United Academy. This guy grew up surrounded by Premier League level standards. Jonathan Woodgate, Harry Kewell, Alan Smith, to name a few. The man was playing football day in, day out with football royalty. Then came Cardiff City. 162 appearances, 2008 FA Cup final. Composure, vision, intelligence. This man was the calm in the chaos. But this is the real story. In 2009, Stephen McPhail was diagnosed with lymphoma. Most players would have retired. He didn't. He fought back, he returned to training, he pulled on that armband and he led Cardiff City once again. This is not just about footballing talent or the footballing mind. This is about elite mentality. Not enough people talk about that element of his career, but they definitely should. Learning the ropes. When Steve McPhail hung up his boots, he didn't go chasing punditry gigs, cushy media roles. He went and learned how a football club works, inside and out. Not just the tactics or the signings, but the culture, the infrastructure, the identity, professional standards. Eventually, he would become Shamrock's sporting director, and under him, things started to change. He oversaw a fundamental change at that football club, from the culture, the standards, the playing style, the manager, and the results. Everything changed once Stephen McPhail came in and, of course, brought Stephen Bradley with him. But what has he achieved at Shamrock Rovers? Let's just talk about it in facts. He's won 4 league titles, or they have won 4 league titles in the last 5 years. They reached the group stage in the UEFA Conference League. They built a squad identity that has survived several big players leaving. They've signed and supported players like Jack Byrne, Rory Gaffney, Neil Ferrugia, all kicked on massively. Most impressively, they did it without spending an absolute fortune. This wasn't a title-winning team before Stephen McPhail changed the game. This was a blueprint to building something special. Start at the bottom, build to the top. But what could he bring to Cardiff City? Well, what does it mean for us? Well, he can bring stability for a start. He can bring pathways from the youth team to the first team. He can base his recruitment on a football identity that not just relates to the first team, but goes up from under 7s to the first team. A proper structure that won't just collapse every time one person leaves, won't just collapse every time a manager leaves. It's about having a short-term plan, of course, a mid-term plan, but also a long-term plan which involves identity. Stephen McPhail understands Cardiff City. Should he? More importantly, could he build something special? He is used to dealing with, let's say, conflicting voices when it comes to ownership and board level. When he entered the Shamrock Rovers, they had all sorts of issues. he needed to stabilise them. He needed to create a professional standard. Now, of course, people will say, oh, it's the Irish League, it's not the same standard of the EFL. Yes, you are right. But they faced a lot of the same issues that Cardiff City will currently face. Now, I'm not saying Stephen McPhail should definitely be Cardiff Sporting Director. We're in fact going to look at a few different roles that maybe he could fulfil. I'm saying that if Cardiff City want to change and stop the rot, they want to evolve and they want to be a bit of a phoenix from the ashes, because we are at a real low point at the moment. Let's not take it any lower. He knows how to build, he knows how to change, and he knows Cardiff City. And he also has a hell of a lot of contacts from the Premier League, around Europe, and the Championship. What role could he take, though? Some will say director of football. Others will say stick him on the board, put him in the academy. But the truth is, it's probably somewhere in between. There are a multitude of roles that he could excel in. You know, a director of football, someone who needs a long-term strategy, needs contacts in the game, needs to work on transfers while being in alignment with a manager. He is more than capable of doing all that. He's done all that as a sporting director at Shamrock. Assistant CEO, footballing affairs, be the football voice in the boardroom. I think that's a big one. It's something that Cardiff City have looked at recently, or in recent times. Could he be that guy? Well, I don't see why not. He'd probably be a very intelligent kind of way to look at it. I've always kind of understood that they wanted to maybe add someone with football knowledge to the board to effectively be a director of football without a director of football being the director of football without the title. But look, it is his mind and his skill set and his attributes that we need, I think. Another one could be like an academy strategic lead, work alongside people like Gavin Chesterfield and Darren Pearce, who, no matter what people think, they have done a tremendous job in moulding and evolving and coaching and teaching and helping these young footballers be ready to start to push on towards first team football. Whether they will, a lot of that will depend on them, of course, but it will also depend on what manager we have and what their long-term strategies are. Could he be the head of recruitment? Now, of course, we have Paddy the Boys at the moment, quite controversial among fans, but by all accounts seems, or I've heard that he's a very nice guy. Maybe he needs some support, maybe he needs a job change, maybe he just needs to have some supporting figures around him. Maybe having someone with the experience of Stephen McPhail will help Paddy Du Bois evolve long term into the right person. But maybe at the moment he's not the right person. It's all about timing. It's all about the right place, the right time, the right role for the right people. Stop signing players just because they're available. Stop signing players because they're a name. Let's get round pegs in round holes on and off the pitch. And just kind of going back to the football knowledge board member, he's experienced. He can give an unbiased view of the current state of things. He can come in and he can assess everything, and he's able maybe to tell those board members from a footballing point of view, look, no, that's not the right decision. No, that's not a good idea. He brings credibility. He brings integrity. He brings that football first thinking. We are a football club after all. Football is like no other business, we know this, but it's time that the Cardiff City board realise this, or at least all of them do. So, let's talk about what a good sporting director or a good director of football can bring to a club that's in disarray. Because if ever there was a club that needed this sort of structure, I think Cardiff City is that. A sporting director, when empowered and competent, is a club stabiliser. It's a strategic driver of taking the club forward. And here's a couple of things that a good one will deliver. They will firstly have a long-term strategy over short-term firefighting. They'll align with the manager, they will align the recruitment, the academy, the medical, and the board all in the same direction under one vision. Let's go. It ensures decisions aren't based on desperation, like panic buys or flavour of the month managers, and there's a strategic plan. At Cardiff, this would end the cycle of annual rebuilds, constant changing of managers, and poor signings, and those reactive decisions that continually put us on the back foot. Secondly, having a clear identity, a clear football identity is massive. A strong sporting director will implement a defined playing and recruitment philosophy. It'll have whether that's a high pressing, a possession based, direct football. Everybody knows the plan from top to bottom. And when you look at it, like Stephen McPhail's work at Shamrock showed that a consistent philosophy can turn average players into overperformers. Number three, smart, value-driven recruitment. This prevents overpaying for underperforming players. It focuses on fit, character, resale value, data-driven insight, as well as the eye test, as well as the scouting. In League One, Cardiff now sit behind the 8 ball. This is the difference between falling behind and bouncing back. Youth pathway protection would be number 4. And Cardiff has promising talents. They've got Joel Colwell, Dylan Lawler, Louis Giles, Troy Perrott, and many more, Manny Barton. But we've got to have a plan to implement them into the first team. There's got to be a pathway. A sporting director ensures that academy players have supported development plans, proper loan systems, and a plan to get them into the first team with the right support staff. And then also a sporting director will, number 5, they'll bridge the boardroom and the culture, and they'll build it. A sporting director will act as a buffer between the owners, the boardroom, and the football operations. They'll protect managers from interference while ensuring that the manager's still accountable. The culture will be set from the top, and a good sporting director will build upon that day to day with expectations, behaviours, and they will bring the standards higher. And in conclusion, like when you look at it, why does Stephen McPhail qualify for that? He is uniquely qualified because he is the one that can bring stuff in. He understands the club's history. He understands the pressure and the expectations that the fan base and the local media bring. He's proven that he can build through a chaotic boardroom and dissenting voices. Shamrock Rovers were mid-table and directionless when he arrived. They are now on the back of winning 4 titles on the bounce, European runs, etc. He will not be swayed by agents and boardroom egos, media pressure. Instead, he will bring a calmness that we severely lack at the moment. And I think that is vital. He will bring clarity. He will bring a football-first decision-making process, a sustained vision. And right now, let's be honest, this is what we need desperately. Where does he fit in terms of rebuilding Cardiff City? So right now we are a mess. There's no doubt about it. Because no manager, head of recruitment questionable, and the analytics department questionable. No clear footballing identity within the group. Bit of a split within the group maybe. Haven't got any coaching staff. You know, the list goes on. Signings, retained list. It is a bit of a mess. Stephen McPhail on his own doesn't fix everything. But maybe he can be the foundation to build on, and the foundation to start rebuilding this club to where it should be. He could be the glue that can kind of pull everything together to make Cardiff City a modern football operation. Players who have improved under his watch. So if you're not convinced, let's talk a little bit about players that he's helped unlock their potential and help them move on to other things. Jack Byrne, he revived his career after failure in Cyprus under Steve McPhail and Stephen Bradley's guidance. Neil Farrugia, I apologise if I've not pronounced his name correctly, was an injury-prone fullback. Their guidance, their support through that process and helping him with his injuries helped turn him into elite fullback. Rory Gaffney, the League of Ireland's Player of the Year. He wasn't that before. It's not about hype. It's not about Stephen McPhail is the saviour. It's about starting to build a structure and putting the right support in place for whoever the manager is, for this football club. The football club has to start looking after itself and not just going on by the seat of his pants day to day. And let's talk about the current state of Cardiff City. What do we have? Well, at the moment, we've got no structure. We haven't really got a clear plan of where we're going. The manager series situation has really dragged on quite embarrassingly at this point. We're one more bad season away from League Two and absolute irrelevancy from a footballing point of view, but also from a financial point of view, absolute disaster. We need someone who's not just going to come in and be another yes man. We need someone to challenge the chaos with clarity, clear thinking, and a long-term plan. Someone who has the football experience, but also the personality and nous to deal with the conflicting voices at board level. Cardiff City needs a Stephen McPhail. What Cardiff must do now? I mean, it's frustrating in so many ways, isn't it? Because it feels so simple. The blueprint is simple. Let's hire a modern long-term manager. Let's give them a proper footballing structure. Let's utilise the exceptional talent in the academy. Let's sign players that fit our identity, not just names. Let's bring in leaders behind the scenes, on and off the pitch, who understand what this club means. They understand what it is to be part of a team and build a team, and they understand how to deal with the pressure when things go wrong. Start the process. Bring us Stephen McPhail. And lastly, I want to talk about the mentality. Let's talk about what truly separates Stephen McPhail. He is a mentality monster. It is not just about football knowledge or football IQ or football ability. It's about his mentality. This man came through Leeds United's golden spell. He captained Cardiff to Wembley. He beat cancer. He returned to play at a high level after having cancer. He changed the whole culture at Shamrock Rovers from top to bottom. The man's mentality knows no bounds. He knows how to achieve goals. And that's what Cardiff City lack, top to bottom. We need people with this elite mentality that will bring back the standards to Cardiff City. Off the pitch, on the pitch, boardroom level and below. Everywhere. Everywhere the standards need to go from here to here. The culture needs to change. I want to flip back a little bit and talk of this, right? Let's be brutally honest. Stephen McPhail could step in tomorrow as a sporting director and bring structure and direction in a very short amount of time. We won't see the results on the pitch for a while, but day to day, the running of the football club will see direction and planning and a strategic look at every element of the football club immediately. If he's at that kind of boardroom level, he adds a football logic to those boardroom decisions. He's going to be a calm voice in those conflicting views. If he's the head of recruitment, he's going to sign with purpose and a plan, not with panic and with names in mind. He's going to really look at it from a strategic element. If he's some type of academy consultant or whatever you want to call it, he's going to help turn those youth prospects into first team footballers. And some of them that won't be with Cardiff City. Some of them it will. but he is the perfect personality to help them go from playing development football to having the standards and the mentality of being a professional footballer. Honestly, he could probably do better than what we've had in recent years in a very short space of time. But I do truly believe that he has all the skill set and ability to go and make some serious changes at the football club. Stephen McPhail is more than a club legend to me. He's a fighter. He's got an incredible football IQ. He's a thinker, but he's a builder. He is everything we lack and everything we need to become. We need to raise the standards. We need to change the culture. So if anyone is watching at the football club, pick up the phone before someone else does. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. As always, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff, because it really, really helps us out with the algorithm on YouTube, helps other people find us. Spread the word to your Cardiff City fans and your mates and stuff like that, especially even if they're Championship fans. We put out content every single day on Cardiff City, whether it's live shows, pre-recorded videos, YouTube-style videos. The more subscribers we get, the more members we get specifically, the more content we will create, the higher quality it will become, and we will keep churning out that content. And because all we want to do is talk about Cardiff City and look at different elements, we've got interviews with former players coming up, we've got more content, more videos, all sorts of things. Hopefully we'll be talking about the new manager in not too long. I really appreciate all the support. I really appreciate all the feedback. I want to say a big, massive thank you to all the boys who help out behind the scenes and doing the shows so I can have some time off. I really genuinely appreciate it all. If you can become a member, please do, because that's what enables us to do what we're doing, and that is only going to grow. That's only going to build. I really appreciate you. Take it easy, but most importantly, keep the faith, and I'll see you in a bit.